Welcome back, guys, to another banner review. Today we're going over something a lot of you guys are going to really enjoy because they're really powerful. Edward and Alphonse Elric from Full Metal Alchemist collaboration in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Thank you guys so much for the support. Hopefully you guys enjoy this and other content on the channel. If you do, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And thank you guys so much for becoming patron as well as YouTube channel members. If I sound a little off today, guys, I apologize. It's because I had a whopping 3 hours of sleep. Don't make that mistake, okay, guys? Don't make that mistake. Very easy banner review because they're going to be pretty simple units to use, both of them, and both of them are going to be pretty darn powerful. So Edward's Cloak is going to be Edward's TMR here. This actually isn't that good. It's pretty decent for him, but not that good at all for anyone else. So it's got clothing as the equipment type here. It gives you 28 attack, 42 defense, 32 spirit, and the effect of the Flammel, which is going to, for only Edward, increase his fire, wind, earth, and water resist by 20%. So for anyone else, this is just a really low stat body piece with raw attack of 28. For him, it at least gives him some elemental resistance. Outside of that, not that great of a TMR. It's gonna be okay for the elemental resist, but only on Edward. All right, guys, so his super TMR though is Knowledge of Truth, very similar to his super TMR, but this does work for everyone. And this is going to be attack and defense 50%, fire, water, wind, and earth resist 60%. So when these elemental resists matter, it's going to be pretty good. It's going to allow you to get that resistance up there, going to give you a little bit of attack percent. The defense percent, it's going to be there, I guess. It's going to help you take damage from some AoE unavoidable physical attacks, right? But outside of that, nothing super insane. You don't need to go out balls to the walls for either of these. If you're using Edward, you can just stick with his TMR. You're not going to be able to use a body piece that's better than his own body piece because you're going to want his trustability if you want that proc. But outside of that, nothing super crazy here. As far as his kit, though, he's going to be pretty powerful. His equipment selection is also a little bit down there. You can use knives, swords, spears, and fist weapons. The good news is he is true dual wield, so there are some very proficient weapons that he can equip from the trial rewards. He has access to Tiger Fangs, he has access to Longinus, and then you can use a one-handed sword on him, or even a dagger if you so desire. His armor selection, he has hats, clothing, light armor, and robes. Now moving into his kit, it's going to be pretty easy to talk about his kit here. So he does have a couple of abilities here that are the weapon alchemy skills. He's got a fire, water, wind, and earth one here. These are going to be his different imbuing skills here. So he's got a fire, water, wind, and earth imbue. These imbues do last for a couple of turns here. At 4 turns here, he is a Stardust Ray chainer. All of his attacking skills, as you can see here, are Stardust Ray. And that's pretty much all he's going to be doing, is attacking with Stardust Ray. So he's got these 4 different imbues. Then he's got, for the same 4 elements, fire, water, wind, and earth, he's got resistance buffs for your team for 4 turns as well. While he's chaining, you can use that as a supportive thing. He comes with native dual cast here, and he has triple cast as well. Auto Blade Mail is going to be one of his main damage dealing skills here. And it's going to be Stardust Ray 1.0 mod, ignore 50% defense to all enemies, with a 7.5 ignore 50% defense backloaded to all enemies. And this is going to get multipliers added to it. It's going to be his hardest hitting spamming move. This is the one that you're going to be using 99% of the time after you get your imbue set up, after you get imperil set up. And speaking of imperils, he does have fire, water, wind, and earth skills that imperil as well. So, and this imperil is 100% for 4 turns to a single target there. So he's going to be able to get up there real easy, get in there with that imbue, get in there with that imperil, and then start using his damage dealing skills, which is going to be Auto Mail Blade, all right, as his spamming skill. And then he's going to have the Hammer of God down here, 1 use every 2 turns, so 2-turn cooldown. And this is going to get up to a very hefty multiplier. I think it's like a 48 or 50 times mod that you get to use every other turn. Throw it in there, do a bunch of damage there with the Hammer of God, also Stardust Ray. And then his other skill here is no comparison between us. 6-turn cooldown available on turn 1. Cures attack, defense, magic, and spirit break to the caster. Buff your attack by 250% for 4 turns to the caster. And enables triple alchemy for 5 turns to the caster as well. Now, as far as passives goes, how tanky is he going to be? He has true dual wield, so you're going to get some double item world rolls on there. He does have attack plus 20% with clothes, attack plus 30% with a sword, attack plus 50% unconditionally. Then he's got 60% attack and defense unconditional, attack and spirit plus 40%, 30% more defense if you're equipped with a fist. So if you give him a sword, as well as clothing and a fist weapon, you're going to be able to meet all of this criteria for all of his different buffs here. He does only have 40% defense, or not 40% defense, excuse me, 40% spirits in passives here, so that's going to be a thing for you to look out for. But outside of that, he's got some decent HP passives. He's got some nice defense passives, and he's got a lot of attack passives. He also has 100% true dual wield when attacking. He does have 150% native demon killer, and he's going to have these different multiplier increases that's going to bump up the skills that you're going to be using for damage, which is going to be auto mail blade as well as the hammer of God. He also does have auto mail blade, water, wind, fire, and earth buffs, but those aren't going to be your main damage dealing skills. You're going to be using those just when you want the secondary effects, right? The imbues, the imperils, that's going to be using those skills, and you're going to be swapping right back to auto mail blade and hammer of God there. So very easy to use. He does have the 6x mod cap. He does have native true dual wield. And his trust ability here gives you 50% attack, 50% true dual wield, and 100% demon killer. So you are going to want to have that active unless you have some really, really high top end gear. So you're going to be using that body piece, that TMR, a lot. So you're going to pick that TMR up. His triple alchemy obviously just lets him triple cast. And then his limit burst is the Alchemist Rush, which is a very hard hitting, it's a pretty hard hitting skill here. 33 LB crystals, 9 hits, 46 times multiplier to all enemies. And it also comes with a 75% defense and spirit break there for you. Now, that being said, even though it does have a pretty decent multiplier of 46 times mod, that's not going to beat out the damage that you can do with a general just attack build with killers on it and just spamming out his damage. You're just going to get in there, you're going to start with the that dual cast unlocked, pre-unlocked right there, and you're going to want to use no comparison between us right here on turn 1. And then your other skill, you can go ahead and use one of your 4 imbuing options there for you. After that, you're just going to have triple cast unlocked. You're going to imperil an enemy 100%, and you're going to start using the Hammer of God when you can, and Auto Mail Blade. So he's a very super easy character to use. Fans of the franchise out there, you're going to be really happy to know he's going to be a very powerful damage dealer. He's going to be a solid option for you in the future. As always with damage dealers, if you're not like a huge FMA fan, or there's no you don't have to go out and use all your lapis and all your tickets and stuff to get them, but if you are already set, and I know a lot of you guys out there were ready for FMA, he wasn't changed, he wasn't nerfed or anything of that, he's very strong, and he's going to be an option for you for a damage dealer for a long while with Edward Elric there. He's got the dual wield, he's got the options for the killers. He's gonna be a pretty powerful character there. Now moving into his brother, we have Alphonse Elric, which is a very powerful tank character. So if you're looking for a tank character, physical tank, this guy's gonna be a very solid option for you. His TMR here is the Philosopher's Stone Seeker. 40% attack, 40% defense, and autocast the Philosopher's Stone Seeker every turn. I don't remember what this does off the top of my head. I don't think it's anything super crazy. So I think it's like LB per turn or something. No, that's what Big Cat Lover is. His super team is Big Cat Lover. Alphonse's shoulder plate is attached to the Big Cat Lover, because cats are right on his shoulder all the time. 60 defense, 60 spirit, and then 3 LB gauge crystals per turn. Either way, I can't remember off the top of my head what this does, and I can't check it, but it wasn't anything insane. Neither of his TMR or super TMR was super insane. You don't need to go chase his super TMR down. You don't need to go chase his TMR down. The super TMR is just okay, but not necessary. Just throw the Philosopher's Stone Seeker on if you want to proc his trust ability. And going down here, his equipment selection: swords, great swords, axes, hammers, maces, fist weapons. Armor selection: light and heavy shield, helms, and you've got it, heavy armor, because the man's literally a suit of heavy armor. Makes sense. It wouldn't make any sense if you could wear it lesser than heavy armor, considering he just is heavy armor. Anyway, he's going to be a very simple character for you guys to use here. With sticking one's neck out is his single target 100% provoke there. He does have physical cover here with defensive cover. And then he's going to be activating some Stardust Ray skills. So that's really what his niche is. He has a very powerful niche in the fact that if you want someone to be your general damage mitigation in a tank slot, he is going to do that for you in spades. He's also going to have Stardust Ray support chaining. That's just going to be attached to his other utility skills. You don't have to have him in your party as a support chainer to make him good. It's just it's an option for you because his utility skills are also Stardust Ray chaining skills. He's got a lot of them here. So the first one's Armored Combat. It gives him 25% physical mitigation for 4 turns. It also fills his LB gauge by 3 to 4. He has Shoulder Tackle, which is a 60% attack and defense break. He has Rush Attack, which gives him a 3,000 HP barrier, so you can spam this up every single turn, as well as it gives him a 30% physical damage mitigation buff for 4 turns to the caster. He's got Body Slam FMA Brotherhood. I like it's all caps. I think it's all caps in the game too, which gives him a 4,000 HP barrier. So this doesn't have the physical mitigation on it, but it's 4,000 HP barrier. That's pretty much his 4 Stardust Ray skills right there. So you have a 3,000 HP barrier physical mitigation, you have a 4,000 HP barrier straight up, you have attack and defense break, 60%. That's kind of old in my opinion. You know, a lot of tanks have like 60, 65% breaks at this point. We have breakers out there doing 75, 80% with other utility on them. Then he can also fill up his limit burst gauge, which is pretty powerful considering his limit burst is one of the best limit bursts in the game. Now his cooldown skills, he has Painless Chassis, which is usable on turn 1, gives him a 230% attack and defense buff, heals 20,000 HP over 4 turns. It puts up multiplier buffs of 8.0 for Rush Attack and Shoulder Tackle, and also puts up Body Slam FMA Brotherhood by 6.0 for 4 turns. It also gives him access to Double Taijutsu, which is going to be his dual cast. Now his other one is Solidifying Steel, and this is a banger one. It lets you come out of the gate swinging. 6 turn cooldown, available on turn 1. You can use the skill to activate his AoE physical cover, and then on top of that, it's going to give you a 45% general damage mitigation buff for 4 turns to all allies, so he can fulfill that role for you. He can, just like you know, like Sacred Shield Charlotte does with her limit burst, this is going to be like the reverse of that, where he has physical mitigation, or not physical mitigation, physical cover and general mitigation for your whole party right away, and then he can put that mitigation back up for you, unlike someone like Warrior of Light with his limit burst. So very powerful thing there. And that's Edward Elric. Oh, the other thing that I want to talk about is that these Stardust Ray skills that Alphonse has, they do scale off of your defense, and they don't have the worst multipliers in the world, especially with these increased multipliers, 8.0 and 6.0. They get up pretty high, you know, they go up to like 20 something multipliers. It's still an insignificant amount of damage, guys, and they do scale with defense. So if you want to get a little bit of extra defense on your Alphonse, do a little bit extra damage, you can do that, but the damage that you're going to be doing isn't going to be astronomical. Now I'm going to skip down to his limit burst before we go over his passives really quickly. This is because his LB is Barricade Alchemy. It is only 22 limit burst crystals, so this is the same cost as the spammable and very powerful Sacred Shield Charlotte limit burst. This gives your whole party a 200% defense and spirit buff for 4 turns to all allies, mitigates the damage taken by 50% for 4 turns to all allies, and gives your entire party a 4,000 HP barrier. You're gonna be able to spam this like no one's business. So he can get in there and do that mitigation buff for you, 4,000 HP barrier, and be your defense and spirit buffer later in the fight, you know, if you get dispelled or any of that other thing. And it's only 22 limit burst crystals, guys, so it's very powerful for him. Now his passives, he's a tank, but he does get a lot of attack passives. He gets attack with a light or heavy shield. He gets attack plus 30%, attack and defense 50%, attack and HP 20%, attack, defense, and spirit 20%. He also gets defense plus 20% when using a light or heavy shield. He also gets defense 60%, spirit and HP 40%, and then he gets defense and spirit 30%, HP and MP 30%, MP 20%, and 30% spirit, HP, and MP. So he doesn't have a lot of spirit passives. He does have a couple, right? He's got 100%. Which is actually I take it all back. He's got 120% spirit. He's a tanky boy. He's got a bunch of spirit passives and a bunch of defense passives and a bunch of attack passives. Those attack passives don't do anything on him though. I don't know why he has all those attack passives. That's one of the weirdest things for me, because all of his damage dealing skills, guys, they scale off his defense, not his attacks. So I don't know why they gave him all these attack passives. But at least he'll look cool for you there. Now, he also has 50% draw attacks, 100% chance to ignore fatal damage when HP is above 5%, chance to counter magic attacks 40% with Taboo's price, or magic attacks or physical attacks with Taboo's price. He also has Fire, Ice, Lightning, and Earth Resist 100%, which is pretty nice there if you're trying to get some elemental resist options going on. He's going to be immune to Sleep and Petrify because, you know, he's a suit of armor. Get it? You can't be put to sleep if you're a suit of armor. And then he also has 100% high tide, 7% MP regen per turn. He also gets a 200% attack buff and a 200% defense buff when his HP drops below 81. I know in the anime, he likes to punch things and stuff, but in the game they made all of his stuff skill up defense. So I don't know why he has a 200% attack buff and like 180% passive buff. I'm not sure. Now, his trust ability here is Blood Rune. It's going to give you that attack and defense 50%, as well as that 20% fire, ice, lightning, and earth resistance, and then defense percent here. It's also going to be increased by, like we said before, 200% when HP drops below 81%. So pretty strong, pretty powerful character there. Now, he does have one drawback, and that's using him as a draw attacks tank, or even if you want to do draw attacks dodge. Draw attacks isn't that bad, especially if something like Moogle plushie, but draw attacks dodge on something like Alphonse Elric is actually a little bit harder for him than like a lot of other people, due to the fact that of his armor selection. He can't wear certain things. He doesn't have access to daggers, so if you have Zon Super Timar or Locke Super Timar, that option's out for you. You can wear swords though, so you can use something like the Defender from Dark Knight Leon, but you're not using either of the 30% dodge daggers from Zon or Locke. You also can't wear hats, so you can't use any of the evasion hats. King Bradley, which comes out in a couple of days, does have a 10% dodge hat. He cannot use that either. So this will be easier for you to do if you have something like Sea Dragon, etc. But if you've been reliant on something like Mastermind Zon or Adventurer Locke Super Team Art to build a draw attacks tank, then that's going to be the downside for you guys there. Once again, thank you guys so much for the support. Hopefully you guys out there who are pulling on the FMA banner, big FMA fans, you get exactly what you want to step up. Like we said before, if you haven't seen it in the news, it's the same thing we've been getting lately, which is 25K. You get a choice ticket at the end. You can pick between either Alphonse or Edward Elric as you're going about your business there. So, and then there's the Prism bundle, the Omni Prism. If you bought that, you can go ahead and just use that Omni Prism on there right away. I know a lot of people bought the Omni Prism bundle while it was available to do that. If you didn't do that, you can also just do the other step up and do it a couple times and get their trust the summon coins from the secondary step up. So thank you guys once again for the support. Sorry if I was a little sloppy today. I had like 3 hours of sleep. A lot of stuff going on FFBE wise, as well as War of the Visions. We'll be playing both games tonight. Don't forget to do your free poll, all right, in FFBE, as well. The free 10+1 every day from Defiance of Fate rewards should be live now. So go ahead and do that stuff. Come and hang out in the Discord as well as Twitch. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.